And many people probably think I'm an idiot that, doesn't know anything. So,
Why is it so popular to take a dump on Steven Seagal? And why is no other character so widely maligned and unanimously accepted as fair game to rip on?
I started cracking up because he sounded like a retard. What I really want to say is how big and fat he is, how he runs like a girl, because he does.
For instance, without television, I would have no idea that Steven Seagal is out of his fucking mind.
You ever see Steven Seagal run? There's a couple. You ever see him run? And
he runs very strange.
Look at him. Look at how he runs. He runs like a fucking retard. Look at him. Look at him. Can you imagine?
Go ahead. Name a single actor or movie star that eats anywhere near as much crap as Big Papa pubic lice. By the way, there are links in the description if you want to see more people pooping on Big Papa. Now, after studying the great man and his ways for the past 20,440 odd hours, I can guarantee that after watching this video, you'll have a better idea of why Sensei Steven Seagal is a 1 in a million character.
when I was a child, no, I mean, this happens more to me now that I'm an adult. When I was young, sometimes I would have a knack of knowing what people were thinking. Well, I think I was intuitive or maybe semi-psychic.
I don't want to talk too much. I'm going to let him do most of the explaining in his own words, really. But trust me, the ending ties it all together nicely. So stay tuned.
Wow. I'm interested. Tell me more.
Now, we have to begin with movies because that's what he's most known for. It goes without saying that his earlier movies were badass movies. Or were they? I personally still love them, but not everyone agrees with me.
Are you very critical when you go and see a movie, like a Steven Seagal movie? Are you someone...
All those movies freak me out. I hate those movies.
So,
I hate those movies. They're all horrible. They give a really bad, it's a really bad portrayal of martial artists. You know, like, you know, they're horrible, bad movies. Steven Seagal like gets down on his hands and knees in front of like a big group of thugs and goes, "Come to me, come on." And they're like, "Oh no, you know, not you. You got the ponytail and the girdle." Oh.
Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death, Out for Justice, Under Siege. All crackers in my book. And then it all went downhill.
Are you really as good as they all say you are?
Every once in a while.
A slew of movies where he barely walks and there are so many quick cuts that his stunt double gets more screen time than he does. Chuck knew it.
See, most of Seagal's movies, his action is done close up. You really can't see. Everything is real quick cuts, so you don't get a chance to really see exactly what he's doing.
The problem with his most recent straight-to-DVD ventures is that he still plays the elite, badass special ops dude, even though he sits most of the time and spends about 10 minutes on screen.
Checked your past. You were Special Forces.
He's ex-Special Forces. The guy's a f***ing killing machine.
I was in the military for a long time. I was in the Army, Special Forces.
Add in the fact that he insists on having young broads salivate over his fat goateed face, and it becomes clear he has a hand in the writing process.
Do you guys know this is my baby?
Your baby?
Finest girl I ever had. Yeah, it was you.
Also because the dialogue is Shakespearean sweetness that have since become timeless cult classics, such as...
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Because now, I will snatch every motherfucker birthday.
And...
Yeah, now you owe me some good pussy.
Plus... Anybody seen Richie? Huh? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?
Before the internet, it was difficult for people to call you on your bullshit. So if someone says they were the first white bloke to run a dojo in Japan, it was hard to disprove that.
Seagal did factually battle the Yakuza, Japanese mafia, over the rights to the Tenshin dojo, which his wife's father lost in a gambling game. It has never been confirmed he owned anything. Rather, he just taught at his wife's father's school. And as for the Yakuza, we'll get to that later.
Well versed in Aikido, Big Daddy Seagal has been studying the art for at least, well, what is it now? 145 years?
40 years ago, or 30 years, 45 years ago, I don't know. Long time ago, and worked for the last 35 years or so to perfect it. I'm one of the highest ranking Aikido teachers in the world. I've been doing the martial arts for almost 50 years, and I'm getting better. I'm a fighter. I've fought all my life. This guy thinks that maybe I'm not a martial artist. He doesn't know that I spent most of my life in martial arts before I became an actor. So I've been doing mixed martial arts all my life. So it's all this stuff. That's what it is.
Regardless of what you think of Aikido being a junk, useless art form in a real-world situation, he is good at it. So there is that. If he grabs a hold of you, you're done for.
This is my fighting pose.
Yeah.
And from here, I might do this. I've already killed you, but I have this now.
And he is very well respected within the MMA community, at one point training some of the greatest champions alive. And still, even now, a dangerous warrior.
Do you still fight?
Yes, I do.
You still dangerous?
All right.
When it came to movies, it's alleged he was a nightmare to work with and notoriously unreliable and bossy.
He is a nightmare. He is impossible. He doesn't turn up. He refuses to say any line that's written. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I guess the truth of the matter is that president of Warner Brothers was a friend of mine, and he had been very interested in me as an actor for a long time. He felt that I was very charismatic and that I had a look.
Quickly! Quickly!
It's essentially written in his contract that he can never get hit or die. There must be at least one hot chick that wants to bang him.
What if I give you something?
And at least one strip club scene. And sitting wherever possible. That is crucial.
You need to talk to me. You need to listen to what I say, when I say, how I say. And if you don't, I will leave you here to get eaten by the fucking jackals who are coming soon. Okay?
On top of that, the numerous claims of assaulting stuntmen and assaulting female co-stars, it's easy to understand why nobody wanted to work with him.
He's never seen anyone aside from Steven Seagal actually really hit stuntmen on set.
He was
so
really
he would actually hit the stuntman.
Broke the guy's face, split his face open from cheekbone to jawbone.
Wow.
I mean, he hurt people for real.
Is there anything he said during the shooting that sticks out for you, Seagal-wise? He seems very quotable.
Yeah. My favorite was at the last day of filming, and again, I had just turned 16 on this movie, and he said, you know, Katie, I've got girlfriends your age, and I said, isn't that illegal? And he said, they don't seem to mind, and I said, Mom!
He is a very well-respected martial artist within his own field, depending on who you ask.
Many people consider me, one of the great masters in my own field.
But his inability to display humility and any physical athleticism, coupled with his insistence that he taught UFC fighters to become champions.
Let me tell you this, the guys that I'm training in UFC, some of them have gotten their championship belts, world championship belts, because they've attributed that to me and me teaching them, so I still know a thing or two.
Steven came out and said that he taught Anderson Silva the front kick that knocked out Vitor Belfort.
Makes for him to be an easy target within the MMA community, and indeed the fight world.
And I was screaming at him, and I think he heard me. I was screaming at him. I said, do the kick, do the kick. But, with Machida-kun, because his waza is a little closer to mine, we worked on a lot of stuff. Am I the inventor of kicks and punches? Of course.
Was your display the other day was it Russia, was that real or fake?
I remember being on set and on deadly ground trying to get Steven Seagal to throw a front kick. And Steven Seagal could not teach Anderson a front kick that he can't do himself. Come on.
I'm going to try not to be insulted, man. I've been doing martial arts all my life. How could it be fake?
Because it was just so impressive. They went down so easily. I was amazed.
Outside of that, he has claimed to be the first private citizen to disarm a nuclear device.
Yeah, buddy!
Has the blood of at least 6 different ethnicities.
I'm a Russian Mongol, and I'm Russian. Yeah, I have some Italian on my mother's side and some French and Russian. I think that my mother's side is probably Irish. My mother was American Indian. I am a little bit Asian. And part of his family are from Texas. So, for example, my grandmother, who surely looks pure Mohawk,
was married to one bird in Japan, bailed on her to come to America and marry another bird, and then started banging Kelly LeBrock while he was still married to those two. Can't really blame him for the latter indiscretion.
Yeah, buddy!
started his own energy drink company that was too awesome for the world to appreciate,
It's good to be the king, isn't it? And guess what? This could happen to you if you drank lighter bowl.
was implicated in multiple cases involving intimidating journalists.
Yeah, buddy!
Allegedly paid the mafia $700,000 to leave him alone.
Seagal says that after Nassau and the mob paid him another visit in his LA home, he ended up paying $700,000.
Is buddies with Putin and eats carrots with the Belarusian president, as well as many other colorful characters.
Right. It's very good for health.
Vladimir Putin.
With President Putin, it will be the best.
Was found guilty of promoting a crypto scam.
Steven Seagal is apparently dangerous for another reason. This crypto scam bilked investors out of $11 million and paid action star Steven Seagal to promote it.
Hosted a Reddit AMA that crashed and burned instantly.
How long did it take you to realize this was a mistake? What kind of pants were you wearing when Jean LaBelle choked you unconscious and caused you to shit your pants?
And he really enjoys cookies.
I love the fuck out of cookies.
It is his complete lack of self-awareness and inability to laugh at himself that has ironically made him something of a running joke. And he loves to lie whenever he can.
When Brandon was killed like that, they called me a few minutes after it happened. It was in Carolina somewhere. They called me in the middle of the night. They said, "We think that he's dead, but the guy shot a blank gun at him. How could he be dead? He's dying. He's severely hurt, maybe dead." And I said, "You will find a projectile in him. You'll find a bullet in him." And they said, "That can't be. You're crazy." And I said, "You will find a bullet in him." And they called me in the morning. They said, "You're amazing." And I said, "Why?" And they said, "There was a bullet in him." They said, "You're amazing."
For the first couple of years, people did come from all over Japan, as I said, to challenge me. And there was one time, this guy says, "I would like to sign up for a duel to the death with you." I thought, fuck me, man, this is the guy. This guy gotta be a master. And then I thought, I'm gonna kill him. And I attacked. And I was in the fucking air flying. And I got closer to him, and I realized he was just a fucking drunk.
He contradicts himself in the same sentence.
When I go up to his house in the Valley, Bruce Lee was there a lot. Did I know Bruce, talk to him, learn from him? Nothing like that. But I did get to see him and watch him and talk to him.
He is a complete hypocrite when it comes to bad-mouthing people.
I wasn't around Bruce much. He was the kind of guy who kind of would badmouth most, a lot of the other martial artists and martial arts.
A few moments later.
Who's the most legitimate Hollywood tough guy, in your opinion? You accept it, of course.
Can you think of one?
Michael Jai White.
Can I laugh in your face?
Really?
Yes.
Thoughts on Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Can I laugh in your face? Jean LaBelle made his entire career lying about who he beat up. But Jean LaBelle calls himself Judo Jean LaBelle. We had experts look in every Kodokan, Budokan, Judokai, everywhere to see if this guy had one black belt. We couldn't find one. Tells everybody he beat me up, he choked me out. The guy is a pathological liar. I don't really want to get into, on film anyway, who's a tough guy. Do I think Michael is a tough guy? No. Do I think he's a martial artist? No. Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy or martial artist? No.
And these are some of the reasons why people find it easy to rag on him, other than the aforementioned complete POS behavior.
Steven Seagal hits the shit out of people. That's a unique situation.
There was one of the scenes that he's supposed to throw him through, they had, the prop, whatever, washroom. He throw him through that, he breaks the toilet, and he grabs his face, real mirror, and smashes his face to the mirror multiple times. Rear mirror. Sent to the guy to the hospital, dude.
It's the personality and need to be respected and act tough in every possible situation that makes it difficult to love him. But ultimately, what if everyone else is wrong and he is the nicest, most compassionate, truthful person alive? Perhaps he is just completely misunderstood. Or worse yet, this is all just a massive plot to conspire against him.
Each campaign on a secret, very top secret level was monitored. 50 people were paid to say all kinds of things about me to destroy me. I'm not going to put up with that.
You be the judge.
And the long and the short is, I think there's always people who think, I can be bigger than them. I can be better. I can get more attention. I can get more money if I screw them over by lying and disparaging them. And there's that, and there's the jealous, and there's the haters, and they will always be there.
Yo, fuck nuts!
Sunshine in the sky, and I'm free when I close my eyes. Have no muscle in my saddle.